We're Limbs, a software company that focuses specifically on international freight forwarders and logistics companies, helping them automate all their processes. From start to finish in everything related to your business, which is international logistics. And I say from start to finish because with our system, you'll be able to have full control. You can manage your leads, your quotes, your sales, your entire operation, your accounts receivable, accounts payable. You can track your clients, and you can have everything, absolutely everything about your operation in one place, in a single system. And I mention this because so often we have cloud drives and I have Excel files here and others over there, and information just gets lost. Here, well, you're going to have a system that's dedicated. It's developed specifically for you, right? And the platform, as I mentioned, is called Linbis. We are a company established in the United States. Our headquarters are in Miami, Florida. And we have representation all over the world, and we also have clients worldwide. In my case, I'm part of the sales team that represents us for Latin, and I'm based in Mexico, right? In Guadalajara, as I mentioned before. And well, Limbus is a software that's going to help you increase your productivity by having control over your operations, by having control over your processes, by truly having control of your operations. Your business productivity starts to increase. And of course, you start to have greater accuracy in each of your processes. And that in turn leads to growth for your business. Agreed? Limbus is a highly modern tool. It's a tool that uses next generation user communication interfaces. We know that in the past and for many years, the famous Windows has been used, right? But now Windows is just the platform. That's starting to get a bit outdated because, well, all systems keep getting updated. So, what I want to point out here with these images is that we use an interface that's what's being used nowadays. These are modern systems that will help you integrate with the system or for you to integrate in a very easy way. It's a very user friendly, very intuitive system, and you'll quickly learn how to use it, right? It won't be that hard for you. The system we offer or the value we provide to you as clients is that our application is highly customizable. Normally, if you purchase software or get some software on the market, they all tell you this is how the system is and you can't change it. But we know that each of our clients operates differently, and that's what sets them apart or makes their particular success. So when our clients hire us, they can say, hey, this is how my operation works, and I'd like to see if you can help me by making some adjustments to the system. Of course, we can do that. Of course, we can even add modules or help you out so that your system is 100% to your liking. Right? It's a cloud based system. That means you can connect from any computer or device that has internet access, whether it's a cell phone, a tablet, a computer, whatever you have, and from anywhere in the world. Like I mentioned, it's a system that's very easy to use with the highest standards of physical and logical security. To keep your information safe, you don't need to make a second investment like buying servers, computers, or any of that kind of technology or database managers. All of that, all of it is unnecessary nowadays with Lindy. You just sign up for the service and connect from anywhere. These are next generation interactive screens. You'll have access to your system 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and it's compatible with any operating system. There are a lot of systems out there today where if you have a Mac, you can't work because the system is Windows, and that's where the problems start. With us, you can work with the system on any computer or any operating system, and the system is multilingual, meaning we have it in more than 140 languages. So if you have a colleague or team member whose language is different from Spanish, English, French, or Chinese, they'll be able to work in the system in any language. The goals we have as a company are to help our clients become more efficient, especially in all commercial areas. from start to finish, as I mentioned, so that from the moment you start prospecting, you have control over those entities, like who you're quoting, what sales have been made that month, that you can track all those sales, have control over pricing, and eliminate data entry errors, especially major ones. Those kinds of mistakes can cause huge losses for companies. We mostly work with catalogs, which means you won't have to keep entering information manually. The system will let you manage every aspect of an operation, from the pickup order, warehouse, distribution, or any type of operation: air, sea, land, import, export, consolidated, direct, all kinds. All the documentation you'll need for any of your operations is included. It's already automatically attached to each file you create. The system will let you generate all kinds of reports: sales, operations, by month, by day, by employee, by client, by shipper, by consignee, and whatever else you need. You'll be able to mine the database for whatever information you require. And you'll also be able to notify your clients about the status of their operations. At the same time, your clients can have access thanks to a traceability portal we provide, so they can also log into the system and see the status of their operations. Obviously, they'll only be able to see their own operations, never those of your other clients. You'll have access to a technical support team that's available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So you have the backing of a technology business partner and can keep growing your business. The LIMBI system is a SaaS system, that is, software as a service, which is a solution we provide based on your specific operational requirements. In other words, we market it ourselves. If three people are going to access the system, that means three licenses, three users, and we charge a monthly fee for using the system. We'll go over that at the end.
What's the monthly fee? That's
$299 per month for three licenses.
perfect.
We can multiply, we can say, no, well, I require 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 licenses, however many you require. And we simply multiply the amount by the number of licenses, and that's what we would pay. Very good. I'm going to the system. The system works based on a domain. From any browser. I'm here in Chrome. Yeah, I can come and launch the application. Right now, I was already inside the application, so I'm going to log out the system. It tells me that's it. Now I'm here. And the way it works is that I simply, from any browser, type in the name of my application, which is nimbus.com. And with that, the system will take me to the page where I can enter my credentials. The credentials are your username and password. Normally, we assign them to you when you sign up. It can be your email, as we can see here, and you just enter it. When you enter it, the system will identify which organization you belong to, what your permissions are, what role you have, and allow you to access the system to carry out the activities assigned to each member of the work team.
And shout out to Guillermo Pato, Lou.
And from your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever you use.
Does it have an app or is it just through the browser?
Through the browser, the functionality or application we have is called responsive, which makes this app adapt to any platform, any operating system. All right.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so look, we're already inside the system. This is the system. It will always welcome us here in the first module, which is called Dashboard. In the dashboard, it'll show us graphs of how our operation is doing, like whether we have growth in our operations this year compared to last year, how many operations we've generated month by month, and how that graph looks. It will also show us which clients are bringing in the most profit for us, what the statuses of the operations are, which shipments are traveling this month, and which orders are involved, which pickup orders are arriving this week, as well as which are the main countries I'm working with this month, right? This will help me when I log into Grisha and the system to get a general sense of how my operation is doing. And once I'm inside the system, I'll be able to navigate and carry out all kinds of operations within each of the modules. Here we have the modules, right? We have the CRM or accounts module, where we'll bring in all those entities, companies, clients, and suppliers that we'll interact with throughout an operation. Then we'll be able to generate quotes. Once we've created quotes, we can generate orders from those quotes, so they become operations, whether it's for domestic ground transportation or international shipments, be it air, sea, or land. In fact, if you we know that your main business is international freight and cargo handling. We have a module for you if you need it, which is a warehousing and distribution module. The accounting part, because we know that from the moment we give a quote, we're offering a rate to a potential client. But we need to know from the start that it's going to be a profitable business for us. And throughout the entire process, the system will always show me what my income is, what my expenses are, and what my profit is, right? So that when I finish an operation, I can come in and generate accounts receivable, accounts payable, and close those operations while getting my profits. This is a business, and the goal is that in every one of your operations, you can be sure you're making a profit and not taking losses. And that's what the system will be alerting you about at all times. All right. The second module is the task module. It's a module where we can view tasks that the members of the work team are creating. And I'll give you a quick example. A task could be, let's say I'm in sales and I quoted a trip for a client. And the client told me, well, call me on Friday, Francisco. When I'm working on quotes, I can create a task where I tell the system, remind me to call my client next Friday because they're going to let me know if they're going to hire us or not. So the system will send me a reminder by email and through a pop up here that will say, Francisco, call the client. Call them now because today they're going to give you their decision on whether they'll hire you or not. And all those tasks, here we have a summary where the system displays them, right? If I'm a manager, I can come in and view all those tasks. If I'm a director, I can view the tasks. But really, the tasks are within each person and within each of their activities. All right, the next module is CRM accounts. CRM accounts is where we'll have all the entities involved in an operation. Here we can have everything from prospects, leads, clients, freight forwarders, shippers, consignees, suppliers to air, sea, and land carriers. All the entities are here in one place, perfectly managed and identified. So whenever you want to look something up, you can do it. When you sign up, I help you bring in all those entities so that when you go to create an operation, they're ready for you. So we already have all the information for each of your clients, right? Or for your suppliers. Imagine you're going to give someone a quote. Let's say you're quoting someone named Juan Carlos Martinez. In the system, we should already have Juan Carlos Martinez registered with his address, emails, phone numbers, and all the information related to this client, supplier, or airline. And we upload all that information very easily. When you sign up for LIM buys, I'll send you an Excel file. You just take your current information and move it into that Excel file. Then, together with you, I'll help upload this information into Linbis, and you'll have all your entity information up to date. All the other catalogs of products and services, airports around the world, seaports around the world, catalog of all those catalogs are already preloaded in IMS. So basically, once we've brought in your entities, we can start working with the system. And I'm going to show you how can we start working. Let's suppose we've already loaded all your entities here, and the system already has all the necessary catalogs to work. Like I mentioned before, products or services, transportation modes, package types, currencies, all these catalogs are already loaded in the system. We just fine tune them during implementation and we're ready to get started. All right, so imagine you're there waiting and you get a call from someone who's interested in getting a quote for a trip. A trip, a maritime import, I don't know, from China to Mexico to the United States to Panama, wherever. And you can start tracking that lead. How's it going, Christian? Do you have any questions or comments?
Everything's good, but my question is, for example, if I have a client, could they have access to see where their order is, like their shipment or their cargo? Or is that would that be included?
Yes, 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 that's right. I had mentioned to you that we have a tracking portal for your clients. So, yes, if you want, you can give them access so they can come in and see the status of their shipments. For example, imagine you created 20 shipments for them this month. They can log in and see them. Plus, you'll be able to notify them about each shipment. This shipment has already left. This one is in transit. This one has arrived at its destination. This one too. And this other one hasn't departed yet. The goods are still being loaded. You'll be notifying them about all of that. But if your client wants to come in and log in themselves, they can do that. All right.
Perfect. And if, let's say, one of my agents, let's say in China, has Invis, do the systems connect to each other or not?
No, they got. If they have Invis, well, normally each operation is handled separately. If they generate, here's how it works. For example, you're going to do an import and that agent issues a BL, a bill of lading, right? You can come here and we have an assistant that helps you create shipments, right? So you can tell the system, I'm going to create a shipment and they'll send you the bill of lading. You don't need to be connected for them to send you the bill of lading. You can just come here and say, I'm going to upload that bill of lading. Look, let me click here real quick. And the system lets you upload that bill of lading. Hold on, I can't see here. Okay, here it says upload. I can come in and upload that bill of lading, right? Let me see if I have a bill of lading around here. Well, let's suppose this is a bill of lading, right? I can tell the system to upload that bill of lading and create the shipment for me. The system will come in and read your bill of lading. Let's click here, send. Give me a second. The system will upload your bill of lading, read it, and automatically create the whole shipment for you. Perfect. You get what I mean? And not only that, I mean, it's great that we can connect with LIMBs, but what if they don't have LIMBs? Do they have another system? We skip that step ourselves. I mean, we don't. You can bring in a bill of lading from any other company, just upload it here, tell the system, create an ocean import shipment for me, and say, yes, create it. And the system will create it for you without any problem. So, with that, we solve it perfectly. What do you think?
That is absolutely perfect.
Very good. So, I'm going to create an operation so you can see how we generate a quote. We can make a quote, and from that quote, we turn it into an ocean shipment. How do we create the income and expenses? How do you see the profit? How do you give your client traceability? How do you generate reports? Would you like us to do a quick exercise to simulate an operation?
Yes, please.
Would you like us to do an ocean, air, or land import? What kind?
Ew.
Ew, an air import? Okay, where would you like us to bring this from? From the United States? From
The Dominican Republic to the United States.
States. Okay, an export? Perfect. So imagine you're at the office and you get a call. You come here to the quotes module, and here we're going to tell the system, well, I'm going to create a quote. We're going to click save, and the system will assign you a quote number. This number is sequential, so you can keep track. And then you just start adding information. The type of service, if it's going to be port to port, let's say it's from the airport in the Dominican Republic to another airport. It's going to be air transport. Yes, here we just select AR. Let's say it's an air export. AR outbound. The quote is dated today, June 17th. June 17th. And it'll be valid for 30 days for your client. And for this shipment, let's say the trip will take 2 days. From the time we load it onto the plane, unload it, it travels and gets unloaded. Let's give it 2 days. And we're going to quote for someone named Juan Cars. And if I already have him registered in the database, it'll automatically pull up his entire address. And the system will ask me, well, who's going to be the carrier? I can say, well, it's going to be Lufthansa, which is an airline company. I can select if we're going to use any Incoterm. The system already has all of them included, so you don't have to enter anything. Some description of the goods. Let's say you're going to move general cargo. Normally, what kind of goods do you transport? Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
It could be pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceuticals. So let's put pharmaceuticals. So that means pharmaceutical, and we're going to move something. For the shipper, let's say Juan Carlos is going to send it, and Jorge Garcia, is going to receive it, let's suppose. This is supposed to go from the Dominican Republic, and it's going to Jorge Garcia, who's over there in the United States. Well, it says Australia, but let's just say it says United States. So now the system will show where it's going from, and I'll tell it that it's going from the Dominican Republic, okay? To the United States, to Miami. We're going to put Miami, United States here. Any notes? Any comments? No, no comment. Okay, those are notes that can be included in the quote. Let's say, what are we going to handle? A pallet, this one, a container, a box, 20 boxes, bags. What would you like us to add? A pallet. A pallet. So we're going to handle a pallet, and that pallet normally measures 120 centimeters by 120 by 100 centimeters. And we're going to say it weighs 200 kilograms. That is 1 meter 20 by 1 meter 20 by 1. And we're going to say that we carry specialized medications. And well, we already have the merchandise. We're just going to add what we're going to quote here in terms of charges. Let's say we're going to quote an air freight, which is an air freight. And we're going to say that we're going to quote, we're going to have income of, I don't know, 20,000 pesos, dollars, euros, whatever I want. I can select the currency here. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it in Mexican pesos. And we say that we're going to charge him that to Juan Carlos Martinez. But this expense, I'm going to sell this service, this freight for 20,000, but I'm going to pay it to my supplier, which is Lufthansa, right? Do you remember that we told him Lufthansa? And Lufthansa is going to charge me 17,000 pesos for the air freight service. If I click save, the system will say, your quote is ready. Let's save the changes. And I can view that quote. I have several quote formats. Let's choose the first one. This one gave me a little error because it was in another client's database. Remember what I just told you? Let me check here. I'll log out. Now we're good. We're going to tell the system again to show me the quote. Here, it's already finished. I'm going to review it before sending it to my client. And this is the quote. My logo. In this case, it would be your logo, your company's name, and who you're quoting for. So Juan Carlos, with the shipper is Juan Carlos, and the advisor is Jorge Garcia. The quote is dated June 17th and is valid for 30 days, meaning it expires on July 17th. It's a trip from the Dominican Republic to Miami. This client has 30 days of credits. It's a port-to-port service with an export Incoterm. It's a 2-day transit. The sales representative is Francisco Tepete. We're going to move a pallet containing specialized medications, and we'll be charging for an air freight service, which is air shipping. It costs $20,000 plus a 19% tax, which comes out to $3,800. So that's $3,800 in tax plus the $20,000, giving us a total of $23,800. What do you think of the quote and how the system generated it, Christian?
Honestly, it's really good.
Great. Just imagine you already have the quote. Well, let's send it to our client. All you have to do is click here where it says send, and that quote will be sent in your client's name to your client's email address. Here I put my own email for demo purposes, but in theory, the system will go and look it up in the database and say, oh, your client's email is such and such. and we've already sent it. If I were the client, let me put myself in the client's shoes. I would go to Gmail and see that I have a quote from Top Connect, or rather from Invis software, where I have my quote. This is a test email. Here's the quote. I can click on it. The system will show it to me in an HTML environment, which helps so I can approve it from here or cancel it or print it. Here, I click print and your client will see the same quote I already showed you, right? In case the client likes it. Sorry?
No, I was going to ask you, for example, if we send the email, even if it shows the index or says Intercargo has sent you an email or something like that.
No, no, no. Your name. If I put this here, I can change it right now and a different logo will show up and the name can be whatever you want, surprise, whatever you want. That's what can be done. Okay, so let's say the client already received it, already viewed it, checks out the quote, and if they like it, they can approve it right here from their phone, from their tablet. They can confirm it here, and that quote is now approved. For me, as the salesperson, I'll get an email saying, Francisco, your client Juan Carlos has already approved quote 831. And that quote will light up a little button here that says approved, that it's already been sent, that it's already been approved. I'll get an email letting me know that my client has approved it. So I know for sure that I can move forward with this quote. Here, everything has already been updated. All these little buttons have turned green, showing that it's been approved. And with this, I already know that I can move forward with the process. Just to be clear, this is my quote. I had quoted $20,000. I had indicated that I would have expenses of $17,000, and the system here is telling me that my profit is $3,000. It's a good deal. So I can move forward with my quote. Once the client has approved it, I can tell the system to convert it into the next operation, which is now the air export file. Here, I'm creating my air export file so that I or the operations department can continue with the work you've already done. You're telling me, Christian, that right now you're in the sales department, you look for clients and you give them quotes. And once you've given them a quote, you turn that into the operation. And the operations department doesn't have to ask you anything anymore. Everything's already here, everything gets updated. This is now an air export file. And here the client, I mean, your management, sorry, your operations department will see that this is a service for your client, that it's an air export. You're the one who created it. In this case, well, my name appears, Francisco Topete, because I did it. The reference, I can add a tracking reference. Who the air carrier is, where it's going from and to, from the Dominican Republic to Miami, and all the information that was entered at the quotation stage is already here. If you notice, the entities now show who is sending, who is receiving, and the goods are already listed here, which was a pallet with specialized medications.